Dating in LA, there's definitely like certain categories. I feel like you have the sections of guys like all they want to flaunt is their money. In terms of dating, like every girl says, like stay away from promoters. I have my fair share of opinions with men because even married men will go in there. So I just want a man to be emotionally there for me. I will be suing him in small claims court because he does owe me money. He told me he was part of the Russian mafia and the cartel. Okay, this is fun. He's an LA trust fund kid, scammer, crypto fraud guy, if you will. He's good at being manipulative and gaslight and believing his own lies to the point like where other people can believe it. He threw water on me and he's like, you can't leave. He threatened me right in front of the girls. He waterboarded her, I think is the correct term. Yeah, he like shoved her head under the water.
He waterboarded her?
Yeah.
That's like what you do to like terrorists and stuff.
He goes to church with them. I was like, you think you're a man of God, but you do this to people? God is not going to bless you if you're doing that to other people. Why he got in trouble for sex trafficking is because...
Welcome to Unattainable. Glad to have you with us. I'm your host, Zach Evans, here with my co-host, Mohammed Molay. And today we got a special episode for you guys. Everybody, this is Savannah. Savannah, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience, your name, what you do, and your star sign.
Okay, my name is Savannah. What I do for work, I am a midnight ballerina. And my star sign, I'm a Capricorn.
Capricorn. Interesting. Yes. Interesting. I didn't expect that, actually. Mm-hmm. You guys are very fun, but a little bit dangerous.
Yeah.
A little bit dangerous.
Could be a little dangerous, yeah.
All right, let's start off with dating in LA can be, people say it's the hardest place to date. You're dealing with celebrities, fuckboys, sociopaths, fake people. What's your experience dating in LA, and what have you kind of learned from it? What are some of your more interesting takes on it?
I would say dating in LA, there's definitely like certain categories. I feel like you have the sections of guys like all they want to flaunt is their money. Most of the time, the ones that flaunt it too hard are the ones that don't have it. Mm-hmm. There's another section of the promoters.
Don't say sorry to me.
I know. I kind of glanced at him. I was like, sorry, Mo.
How does that relate to dating?
Mo is a VIP host. Yes, very.
I've
VIP.
never said those words
host.
once in my life. I don't know what
every
you're talking
promoter
about.
is like trying to find a different way of saying promoter without saying it.
Not once I've ever said VIP host.
Okay, because in terms of dating, like every girl says, like stay away from promoters because one, depending on how like you work and approach things, you're always around women and you're always around partying. So usually most promoters, at least how I've seen, most, not all, they are getting fucked up and bringing a different girl home every time they go out just because they're a promoter, you know, so I feel like most of them are like, oh yeah, I could take a girl home every night if I want to. Like, I have this connect. Like, I'm the one.
But you act like living in LA, you're meeting like millions of promoters. I mean, this is like a fraction of population. Not even. It's like 0.0001% of the population of LA might be promoters. Like, what do you mean?
No, that was just a category, and then we stopped to like touch on it.
What, like 20 people have their own category? What about the other 10 million
but
people?
Also, you're the 20 people that send like 80% of the messages. Because every week, hey, what you doing tonight? Hey, Zook, got a table, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's mostly you guys messaging everybody.
But then also there's the DJs, the ones that are kind of like up there, maybe some that aren't. And those are the ones that I feel like are the worst. I have a few DJ friends, but all I see them is like literally on drugs every night. They do the afters till 7 a.m. They do it over the next day. And they just...
And they have the status of they're in the DJ. All the girls want to go to the DJ booth. So it's like a promoter. Plus they have the status. So like girls are even more into them.
Yes, 100%. And I think that's like where they get their egos from. Not that they shouldn't have one, like some are super cool, but I think that's where they get that from. So they're kind of the same, where they're like, oh, like I'm going to take this girl home, da 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 da. Like I know one in particular that is at literally so many parties I see him at, and he is with a different girl. I mean, he's hot, but still it's like, it's crazy. So that's why I just feel like there's so many trust issues. in...
But that doesn't necessarily mean maybe they're single. I mean, what?
Well, yeah. But if they are trying to get into a relationship and they are looking for someone, that's something to consider, which my work, I can't judge. I'm not judging, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. So you said your job is what?
I'm a stripper, and then I also do OnlyFans.
Yeah, but what did you say the words were?
Oh, midnight ballerina.
Midnight ballerina. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
that's
like
the
the TikTok
VIP host
slang
for.
now.
That's the
cool.
VIP
That's cool.
host equivalent of.
To make it sound like more classy and
Right.
like, yeah.
So you do OnlyFans and stripping.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And so, okay, that I guess that makes sense why your circle of men is like all the party people, right?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to go out all the time, not so much anymore, but that is like who I always was around. I mean, at the strip club, it's more older clients. So I have my fair share of opinions with men because even married men will go in there. So,
So okay, so but then one would argue that all these traits that you described as negative traits of men,
yeah.
right, could be sort of turned around and be used for you. No?
Wait, reiterate that. Like, what do you mean?
So if you're saying that all these men, like, you know, partying, staying up until 7 a.m., doing drugs and drinking and going home with different like all those things would apply to somebody who's a stripper and does OnlyFans.
Yeah, 100%. I would say, like, I'm not, like I said, not anyone to judge because of my line of work, but I can say I had my fair share of doing that, like drinking and doing drugs. I usually only drink 1 or 2 cocktails. When I go out now, I'm completely like sober off of drugs. I don't stay up late and I just do my work and go home. But yeah, my line of work is like, if I were to date a guy, he's going to be like, okay, like, are you, you know, doing other things with guys at the club? You know, guys can see things differently. It's OnlyFans too, because you essentially have that platform and like anyone can subscribe and go see you vulnerable or naked, you know, whatever. So I know guys have a lot of opinions with that too. So.
Right. So then it's much less likely for you to get like a lawyer or a doctor or a judge to be
For sure.
willing to be in a relationship with you. So then, you know, the alternative would be some promoter who just wants to fuck and then not commit to anything. I mean,
For sure, yeah. There is very, very few guys that are okay with that stuff, which, yeah, most likely it is not going to be a surgeon or a doctor or a lawyer. So it is really hard for me to date. That's why I usually don't. And I don't like hooking up. So I pretty much just don't do anything because the guys that I have dated date for the wrong reasons. So.
But also, if you're making money, because I'm sure you're making good money, do you care that a guy like is rich, doctor, lawyer, something like that? Or you're like, dude, if this guy is cool and has a 6-pack, he could work at Chipotle. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, do you not, or do you still want a guy who's like above your level financially?
I would say I actually just ended a relationship and he, you know, was building towards his success and his goals and everything, but he wasn't making any money. And as long as he was like treating me good and we had open communication and he was like honest and a good boyfriend, I didn't care because I was there to like help him through whatever he needed. And that still bit me in the ass. But, yeah, I don't care about like their status or anything because I've never been someone that like wants someone else for their money, which I guess that's kind of like hypocritical for me to say of the line of work I'm in, but I'm not dating.
It is different. No,
Yeah.
that is different. You know,
I'm not dating to be a gold digger.
Yeah,
I'm getting
yeah.
other people's money, I guess, at work.
But then that's a clear thing of like, this is what I'm doing. It's an agreement in a sense. It's not just,
Yeah.
oh, I'm dating you. Also kind of like, I'm trying to get money out of you too, you know?
Yeah, 100%. So I can't even tell you the last time I dated a guy with money. So I should probably pick better for sure. But yeah, has nothing to do with money. I think it just has to do with the kind of person they are and like what they're working towards. Like, I don't want a guy, like I don't want to have kids in 4 years and I'm still paying the bills.
Yeah.
Or like whatever. So that definitely, I need to put that into an account, but at least if they're like working towards something or their goals or whatever is different.
But this is interesting because the lines of work that you do is as a result of you valuing money over, I suppose, other standards of morality and ethics. Mm-hmm. So then what's the reason for you to date someone and be with someone in a relationship who doesn't have any money, the one thing that they value the most?
That's an interesting question, but I feel like I value it. How do I say that? Like I value it myself. Like I have always been independent in that way. And I've never had sadly, I guess that is probably because I've never had a guy fully take care of me. So I search and go get my own money. And at the end of the day, that's not what I want from a man. I just want a man to be emotionally there for me in that sense. So I don't know. Does that answer your question?
It answers what you know to answer. It doesn't particularly answer the question because I think it lacks a level of self-awareness on the end of why you do what you do. Mm-hmm. Right? Like I was having this conversation with my wife last night, which I was looking at her feet, and I was saying, you have such pretty feet and you'll make a lot of money if you put your feet online, right? And this is obviously like, it's like, we're like joking and we're just like having a conversation about like, oh, how much money she would make, blah, blah, blah. And then the conversation sort of turned into this thing of like, who are the type of people that would spend a lot of money on feet pics, right? And like, how does that turn into a lot of money? And when that happens is when the client requests photos and videos of the feet model or the foot model or whatever, where then they see their faces, where they see their bodies and them like doing certain things with their feet, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's where the fetish comes from. Mm-hmm. And I said, and that's where you no longer will have your anonymity, right? It's no longer a private thing. If you were to just like put your feet pics online, like at some point, right, you would have to give more in order to make the big money, right? And I said, and then we were just kind of like, you know, talking about these things, and the conversation went into us talking about how the people who do things like OnlyFans, do stripping, prostitution, you know, porn, so on and so forth, they don't value the, I guess I don't like the societal
validation.
Not the societal validation, but the societal norm of how it's more conservative, for example, for somebody to not show you know, a lot of their body parts when they go out, for example, or you know, if you talk to a doctor, right, and you said, hey, would you do porn for, you know, 10 times the amount of money that you have, they'll say no to you. But the reason of them saying no perhaps is because of their own moral standards, right? And so at what point does a person lose the moral standards of, or justifying it perhaps, or not caring about it as much, where then they say to themselves, okay, this money would make what I'm about to do okay. Right? Because at some point when you started stripping, in the beginning of it, at least, right, it wasn't like your dream job. I mean, I'm assuming. Yeah. Like you started stripping because you were like, okay, I need money fast. And this is the quickest way to make it. Yeah. Right? Because that's usually how things go. You know, anybody who goes into porn, it's like, hey, I couldn't do anything else, basically. Yeah. So like the easiest way for me to make money was using my body in order to do so. Right. And majority of the time, the person who does porn, they have to be some level of attractive in order for that to make sense. Like you won't have like the ugliest person on the planet doing porn. Like there's just like, they won't get jobs. Right. Because people who watch porn have some desire of seeing somebody who's attractive to a certain extent. Same thing goes, you know, for modeling or anything else, OnlyFans, whatever. So, but most of those people, like, you know, one of the things that we were talking about was certain celebrities who ended up having OnlyFans accounts. And I mean, do you know like the big celebrities who did OnlyFans? there's like some rappers and, you know, some people that did OnlyFans.
Yeah.
But the reason why they did that was because, I mean, obviously they already had money. They were big names that already had money. Why would they do OnlyFans all of a sudden? Is because they just didn't care about the social norms. And then they cared about that extra amount of money that was going to go into their pocket. But essentially the gist of it was the money aspect. So if you made money off of it, then great. If you didn't make money off of it, nobody would be doing porn or stripping or, you know, selling their bodies or prostitution, you know, whatever. Because if money wasn't involved, you wouldn't be doing it. Right. So then when I hear you say, I'm dating the person for the emotional validation and not the financial security, it just seems like at some point you have valued your independence over the reliance on the financial security through somebody else. Right? So the guy no longer you don't want the guy to have control. You want to be in control yourself because that seems to be more of a secure way of you living your life than allowing somebody else to control your life.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
And so I guess the question is, where does that come from?
I see what you're saying. I would just say, I think like all the trauma I've endured, even like in childhood and everything, and not having, probably never having a healthy relationship. And I guess like in a sense, it's just like me kind of like giving up on that. And I'm like, okay, well, I have never had luck with it, I guess. So, that's kind of when I started doing like sex work basically. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do what I want to do, which like you said, it's not necessarily something I wanted to do. I'm very confident and I enjoy showing off my body. So I'm like, well, I don't want a 9-to-5. I don't know what I want to go to school for yet. If I even want to go to school. So I'm just going to do this. And if a guy wants to come along my way and go ahead and like date or have a future, then that's fine. But I think I've accepted the fact that if I don't find that, then that's okay. Because of all of the shitty, terrible relationships that I've been through, to where I think like I'm literally traumatized enough to like not want that. So I think that's where my like overly independent comes from, of like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And like, let me know if you want to be with me, but otherwise like, bye type of thing.
Since you are in sex work, what is it that makes you uncomfortable with casual hookups?
What makes me uncomfortable with casual hookups?
Because you said you don't really have casual hookups, which makes me think that it doesn't make you happy.
Yeah. Well, I would say I know a lot of girls on OnlyFans usually do boy-girl content. I do not, unless it is with my boyfriend. So I could say that I strictly don't do that. And then with stripping, that's for the male gaze. You get naked, whatever. But yeah, I don't get excitement or like thrill off of casual hookups. I used to, and I used to just like do it, whatever. But then I realized it's also draining me even more because I'm like looking for like that validation in the bedroom, essentially, like when I'm having casual hookups. So I'm like, well, what's the point of that either? So yeah, I strictly don't do boy-girl content on OnlyFans.
What did you say your relationship status is?
I am single as of today. I just found out this morning I got cheated on, so.
How did that happen?
So it was an ex of mine from like 2 years ago, and we rekindled recently as of maybe last month or so, and we were working on things again. He actually asked me to be his girlfriend on his birthday back on the 9th, I think, of November. And I'm pretty chill, like, because of the line of work I do. I ask, my partner to be honest with me and like what he wants or what he wants to do. And he will go out with his boys sometimes. He was at the strip club, and I was out at the bar that night with like one of my friends, like literally just getting one drink. And basically I can be a little crazy, as in like, I need you to be honest. So if you're not being honest, then I'm going to get pissed off, because that's the only thing that I ask. So I noticed he had followed a girl. I kept my eye on her. And Us girls being the detectives and FBIs that we are, I started watching her stories, and basically he told me like a couple of days after he spent the night at my house, woke up and he's like, oh, I'm going to go on a hike with my homies. I don't know if you guys have ever been a hike with your guy friends, like as guys, like, is that like a boys thing? Like, I don't even know. I'm like, that sounds weird. And like, I end up stalking her story. She's on the hike. And I'm like, my intuition's right. He ends up telling me like, no, it's just the boys. Like, that's my cousin's like homegirl. Okay. Why wasn't I invited into the hike? Like, you think I like can't hike or what? And then one thing after another, he manipulated me into thinking that nothing happened. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I was focused on work. I'm like, okay, we'll see how this goes. And then one thing after another, I had an instance again last week where he actually just got a quote unquote spot on Melrose here because he has screen printing. So one of the shops,
He has what?
Screen printing. So like he has like one of those big machines that like prints like on shirts and stuff. Basically, he got a spot out here because he has a clothing brand named Sex Sells. And we were going to go halves on that. I've given him money to invest in it. So he was like, oh, I'm going to like go big on Melrose, da-da-da-da-da. And she's like there one day with him and I blow him up and he's trying to gaslight me again. And I'm like, dude.
Well, how did you find out she was there?
Her story again.
Got it.
So at this point, she has me blocked though. And I'm like, oh, she knows.
Weird.
She knows and she's okay with it. So how I found out how he met her was because he was at the strip club that night, a strip club in Santa Fe Springs. And he followed her that day. And I was like, oh, okay. So I noticed as he was going there every time, he said he was with his homie. I'm like, no, you are not. You're going there every night she works. Like the nights that she works, you're going. So I'm looking on her account. Actually, I have one of my friends look because I had a gut feeling again. I was like, no, check. And she's in his car because I see his backpack on the floor of his car. I noticed that. And it says Melrose. And I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. And she has a bottle of Casamigos. It's like 1 p.m. on a Tuesday. I'm like, wow, you guys really suit each other. And blew up on him. I'm canceling myself now. If anyone comments, yes, I stayed. Please don't. I already know. And then one thing after another, he's like trying to repair our relationship, whatever. He's been bad at communicating this past week. Like everything's just been rocky. I'm like, you know what? He's trying to get his shit together. I'm going to work on me. I'm going to work. He can decide what he wants to do because I'm also doing my own thing. And I made it very clear. If you want to open a relationship, let me know. No. Like, I don't even have time to like do that. Like, I'm on a strict program, like da-da-da-da-da. Strict program of being broke. But, and using me for my money. But I had a gut feeling. So I wake up this morning at 8 a.m. and I'm like, I grab out my iPad. Okay. I made a brand new account because when someone blocks you now on Instagram, you can't like log into a new account on that device, like that you make. So I get my iPad and make a whole new account and I look at her story and it's her at the club last night. And she's like, nights at the club, like with my man are fun. And I see the pants I bought him, the hoodie I bought him, and he's slapping her ass. And I'm like, there is no way right now. So I end up blowing him up and getting a little crazy for a second. I was like, this isn't going to do anything. I end up DMing her and she's like, yeah, girl, like I know what it's been and like I know what it is. Like I don't know what to tell you, but like he's been with me every day. And I'm like, oh, so you don't care. She's like, well, I don't know like what you think it is, but he's definitely my man. And I'm like,
oh shit.
I was like, well, clearly not, because I don't know what he's been lying to you about, but he's definitely been our man for at least a few weeks. And then she was like, well, don't worry, like he's not going to hit you up anymore. I was like, well, I hope so. I hope. But now I will be suing him in small claims court because he does owe me money that I have over text. So good luck to him. So no one buys sex sells. Thank you.
Wow, very loaded. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys were in a relationship before, you said?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
I would say like around 2 years ago, and it was kind of like the same thing. Like he was still trying to get his shit together.
How long did you guys date for?
We were on and off kind of back then too, but honestly not long, like probably 6 months.
Okay.
Like of actual dating.
What is it that draws you to this person?
I think what drew me, because one, like I said, like I'm not looking for money from a person, and nor did he have any. I was just looking for a good guy, and he was checking all those boxes.
What made them good?
I would say, like, especially even in the beginning of a relationship, of rekindling this past time, like he really took me like by surprise, because even though it is a bare minimum, it is not common anymore for like a guy to like never let you open the door, always get the door for you. He was calling me like pretty much anytime he got during the day, and he's like, did you eat? How was your day? Tell me about it. Like, how are you? Like, do you feel okay? He was always making sure like I got my coffee, or like little things like my favorite snack or things like that. And like sadly that isn't common anymore. So me thinking that's like a needle in the haystack, I was like, wow, I have a winner here. And he's like, I'm sticking by him while he figures his stuff out, and I'm lucky enough to have a guy that is okay with my line of work, and we have that open communication and can still be together.
Mm-hmm. So the bare minimum is what you don't get on a regular basis, so therefore you saw value in that, right? And
yeah,
you felt like this is something that
I feel like chivalry is literally
that
dead.
is special for you. Sure.
Yeah.
And also somebody who's okay with you doing what you do. Now, if he had said that he wanted to be in an open relationship, would you have then stayed in that relationship, or would you have said okay?
I think so. It's definitely a conversation to be had, because I've never had one. Mm-hmm. But I've also never really been in a relationship where I'm doing this line of work, because he's always been someone that was okay with it. And I think that has a lot to do with his clothing brand, and like how he's open-minded about the sex world and like sex work and everything. And like, he's very, I don't know, he's open-minded, so he's okay with that stuff. So that's why when we rekindled, I still did it. And he was like, yeah, make your money, make your money. He didn't have a problem with it. But yeah, I've never been in a relationship where I kept doing it, because I have respect for that person. Mm-hmm. So that's why I didn't stop doing this work, because he said it was okay and he fully supported me. Mm-hmm. So
I mean, it doesn't sound like that he had an issue with what you do, because he just went around and started seeing somebody else who does the exact same thing.
Exactly, yeah.
So I guess your line of work is not an issue. I
Right.
mean, I wonder what it is. Like, if we talk to him, what would he say is the reason why he didn't want to do, like, actually didn't want to have an open relationship? Like, why do you think is the reason why he said no to the open relationship?
I think maybe he thinks that I wouldn't be okay with it because of how I could act when he calls me crazy and says I'm acting crazy when I catch him in lies. Mm-hmm. Like the whole hike thing, or me going off on him today about the strip club. He literally told me this morning, he was like, well, you do what you do for work. I can't go out with the homies. I was like, I never had a problem with you going to strip club. Like when he went that night 2 weeks ago, I had no problem with it. But I was just like, you're so focused on your work, I don't think you should be going to a strip club. Like, you don't even have money to spend there. Mm-hmm. So I think he thought in hindsight I wouldn't be okay with it because of how I act. But that's because I hate liars and I hate people that just can't be honest.
Sure.
So I truly think, yeah, he was honestly probably like scared, because I know he was getting what he needed from me, which I have given him a lot of money and I shouldn't have, but I think he was loving that and he was on a high with it that I don't think this girl is, or this girl may not be wrapped into his bullshit yet, but I think he was loving like, oh, I can have this girl, you know, she takes care of me and she's like nurturing and she understands like what I want in life and like my future, and she's helping me get there. But I also like want my cake and to eat it too. That's mm-hmm. what I think. And he thinks that I wouldn't be okay with the open relationship. Mm-hmm.
And do you think that you giving him money was a way to buy his affection?
No, I don't think so. Maybe in hindsight, I guess maybe. But if that was the case, I feel like I could have done that with every guy I've dated. Mm-hmm. And I haven't. So I think for him, maybe he's been there for me through like a really tough time. Like I got pregnant with his child, and that's the only person that I've gotten pregnant with. So I think that's a huge bond that you can create with someone, whether you keep the child or not. So I think it just came from like just like a place of love and him needing someone for someone to like be there for him. So
have you ever had a relationship longer than 6 months?
No.
You have not?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how old are you again?
I am 20. I'm about to be 29.
Okay. So what's the reason, do you think, that you've never had a longer than 6 months relationship?
Canceling myself again, I will say it's for sure has to do a lot with me and who I'm choosing.
It's because so there's a pattern of you choosing the same type of men.
100%. Yeah. It, like essentially like realizing that I'm like looking back and like I subconsciously pick the guys that are emotionally unavailable or like have issues or like they're somewhat toxic because I probably deep down like know it's not going to work because maybe I'm emotionally unavailable. So
what's the most toxic relationship you've been in?
I would say the most toxic is the one before this one, which I actually that ended in June. Really shortly, I guess, before this one, honestly. This one started before that one, after that one. But that one was definitely the most toxic. He was younger, which I should have known, but it started off like trying to be like a casual fling or whatever. I wasn't looking for anything serious. And then one thing after another, we just like kind of started dating, and I thought he had like his head on straight for being young. I was like, oh, like he has like, life going for him, da-da-da-da-da. And then, like, I soon found out that that was not the case. But this man is psychotic. He actually lives out here, but, and I always get scared of running to him at the club because he's actually only 20 years old, and he's still at the club out here. But he told me he was part of the Russian mafia and the cartel. And love to use that against his friends and his girlfriends and any like girls that he had in his life. He's like, yeah, well, I hope you know, like my parents and like my family is a part of the Russian mafia. And he said he was part Russian and Armenian. No, he looked Mexican. He was Mexican. And he would just always use that as an excuse of like, you can't break up with me because like I'm going to part you alive and send you to Mexico and all of this stuff. He really,
holy shit.
No, he is the mass manipulator. He is actually, I'll say it very briefly because I probably shouldn't even say this, but I don't care. But he is going to be going to court in December, January. Hopefully to be locked up for sex trafficking at 20. So
crazy.
Yeah.
Where do you find these guys?
I found him off TikTok, and I shouldn't. I need to stay off social media. Dating apps and social media, I will no longer find men on there because you just never know where they come from or what they're capable of, I swear.
Even like the first guy, I'm like a little confused because it's like, I guess I don't know this world that much because I don't really go to strip clubs. I mean, maybe once in a while when it's like, oh, it's like 4 a.m. Let's go, whatever. But like he goes to strip clubs, but he doesn't have money. And then also he goes to this other strip club, where this other girl's at. Like, what is this type of guy who just like goes to strip clubs all the time? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think for him specifically, it's like he has this brand called Sex Sells, and he's like, this is like who's going to be wearing my clothing.
Oh, so he's like, it's a business.
He's like, I'm networking, babe.
But then really he's trying to hook up with
That's what
chicks.
he's telling you.
Exactly.
That's not the real reason.
Yeah. So, I mean, every girl he's dated has been a stripper. So
he has a type, yeah.
Yes, I obviously knew why he was okay with me doing my work. But yeah, for him, it's like he's supposed to be releasing bikinis and everything. And I was going to help him because I know a lot of sex workers and OnlyFans girls. And that's what he says is like, oh, I'm only going to the strip club to work. Like, he's like, I turn my back, like, and I work in the corner. I'm like, so you're saying you don't look at any ass in there. You are full of shit.
Jesus.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not looking, I swear.
That's hilarious.
He has like glasses on, like in the back corner. He's like, I'm just working on my phone, babe. I'm like,
He's like reading the Bible in the back.
Yeah. I'm like, no, you ain't. So
okay, so the TikToker who's 20 years old, how long ago was this?
This ended in June.
Okay, so he's ended in June. How long did you guys date for?
4 months.
4 months. Okay. And he was 19 at the time, or he was 20 still?
I was under the impression he was 19. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And you found him off TikTok?
Yeah.
Okay. Like he DM'd you or you DM'd him?
I originally DM'd him.
Saying what?
Okay, hold on. Because he portrays like those videos, like those lifestyle videos of like the nice cars and like, like trust fund kids in LA, like those types of videos.
Uh-huh.
Not that I was going to mooch off him, because I can tell you I got not one penny from that man. Maybe his parents' money. I don't know. But they live in Section 8 housing. So I don't know if it was their
this just keeps getting worse. Okay.
Yeah. Food stamps. I don't know. Uh-huh. But I was like, okay, like he has something going for him. So I was like, that's attractive.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And like meeting on someone on the same level as me, like whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know. I don't have my shit together other than like making money, but I'm working on it. Picking better men. But I DM'd him, and it's because he kind of has, and I'm treading lightly with the situation because I actually am on TikTok for dating him. Because he is like hated on TikTok because of what he's done, but he used to manage Brianna Olsen, the OnlyFans girl. Have you guys heard of her?
I haven't, no.
She's like, I think her handle now is like mommy Bree or something like
whatever.
that.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, she's big in the OnlyFans world. He kind of was like known for like managing her and was like part of this like content house with a bunch of other 20-year-old dudes, and her friends, like whatever. And like he was like with them when they started the MILF House, which I feel like you guys might have heard of that. MILF House, yeah. So she was a part of that too because she has a kid. So he was apparently part of that, whatever. So he goes like a little viral or like popular because he was her manager at the time. And then all this stuff starts happening, I guess, because he scammed them while he was there, all this stuff. So he's already known. So I was like, oh, like this like TikTok stuff is funny because he was like coming after them or like posting stuff about her. About her being a bad mom, and I was just laughing about it. And then we start talking.
Wait.
No, yeah.
So you saw all this before dating him,
exactly.
and you're like, this is the one.
Okay.
Out of all the guys on the internet, so like this guy.
What do you text? What do you message? What's the opening, like sliding in saying what?
I think I just said like, this TikTok stuff is funny. Like, good thing you're hot.
Okay, so that's the real reason. He was just hot.
No.
Looking back at it, no. I don't even want to show you guys a photo because I'm like, you're going to be like, this man looks 17 years old. So
no, she said hot to make him feel hot, but the reality of it is she hit him up because of his money. And so, I mean, that's just the bottom line. There's no other reason why you hit him up. Which is contradictory to what you said in the beginning of this podcast, but we'll get there. Okay, so you hit up this fucking 19-year-old kid on TikTok, hitting on him in the hopes that he was gonna return the favor, obviously. And then what happens?
We just start chatting, and then he was just telling me about the drama. Yeah, he posted nice cars. He posted private jet. I was like, yeah, I want to go on a private jet. I want to be in nice cars. So one thing after another, and then I think we hung out 2 weeks later. And the kicker is that once we hung out 2 weeks later, he just like refused to leave my house. So
So you guys hang out, he fucks you, and then he says, I'm not gonna leave.
Yeah, he's like, actually, I'm staying. And I wake up the next morning, he has like Starbucks ready for me. My whole house is clean. He did the dishes. I was like, wow. So like I domesticated him pretty fast.
So you're thinking this is great. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, but he was so much younger than me. And like, yes, I date young. Every one of my friends, everyone that knows me knows this, but never that young. And like, it made me uncomfortable. I was just like, okay, this is fun. He's an LA trust fund kid, scammer, crypto fraud guy, if you will. And we could have fun. We could have some fun, and he probably can help me like network. Like maybe he knows people out here. That was my initial thought. And then he just never left my house. And I'm like, I wonder why he's not leaving when he has this mansion in LA.
So you're thinking I'm going to use him, but then in return, you're getting...
He used me. That's what happened. Yeah. That is what happened.
He pulls out the final Uno card.
Yeah, Uno reverse.
Okay, so he stays, and then he keeps telling you, he keeps threatening you that he's a part of Russian mafia, whatever the fuck, and then how do you find out that he's actually Mexican?
Well, so giving myself some sort of defense.
There is a defense?
Well, yeah,
okay,
a little bit at least. He's not part of any of that, but I will say he's good at being manipulative and gaslighting and believing his own lies to the point like where other people can believe it.
Of
like
course,
we've met the type.
Yeah.
We've met the
type. That's common for LA, but all of his LA friends that are actual crypto guys are thinking that he's just this sick ass dude with money. And I'm like, no. So basically, he was really good at what he does. Like he did tap my phone. Like I'd be out with my friends. I'd get a text and he'd be like, oh, like what's that about? And I'm like, dude, what? But he never knew my password to my iCloud or anything. He didn't have it in his phone. So I don't know how he did that. That was good. He had some sort of tracker or something on my car because at one point I did get a new phone and changed my phone number after we broke up, and he tried getting in contact with me again. And he was like, oh, have fun at Pilates. And I'm like, at Pilates in Newport. He sends me the address. And I was like, there's no way this is happening right now. And I just like book it out of there. I was like, there's no way. So don't know how he got a tracker or whatever it was.
Did you
I got
find
those
the tracker?
No, I got those things on Amazon that like dee, and there wasn't anything. So it was kind of beeping at my purse though. And I'm like ripping through the purse. I was like, I'm just going to rip through this shit. Like maybe it could be inside of the material. I was like, I can't find it. I threw it away. I was like, I'm not dealing with this.
Threw what away? The purse?
Yeah, I threw away the purse. I was like, I'm not. So he was very like psycho like that. And
how do you know he doesn't have your location now?
well, I'd like to see him try. Now I ain't
But
afraid anymore.
he hasn't hit you up.
No,
saying,
yeah, we
okay.
haven't talked in like 2 months. So that's where the whole court thing comes into play, though. He has a no contact order against me. So
Oh, you got a restraining order against him.
kind of. It hasn't been served, but the detectives gave me one. That's how deep it gets. Like detectives.
Wait, okay. So start the beginning of that story.
Like Scooby-Doo.
So basically, why he got in trouble for sex trafficking is because we basically thought it was a good idea to start OnlyFans management, because he was also known for that. Because like the girl Bree, he was managing. Okay, so he was known to be an OnlyFans manager in
And that
LA.
was real. That was.
I guess, yeah. He definitely managed Bree and her friend Vale for a bit. I don't know how real it was, like if he was really making them money or he was just taking their accounts, because later on I found out he scammed a bunch of girls on their OF for money. Like he'd change the bank account and make an excuse of why he has to. And he did that with mine. So he took all my money from my OnlyFans, but basically...
So how did it start that he got arrested for sex trafficking?
So we started this OnlyFans management, and basically one of the girls that we were managing is his ex-girlfriend from when he was younger. And another girl is one that found him, again, off TikTok. And she just turned 18. She's like, hey, I want to do OnlyFans. So he starts managing two and like obviously more, but these two in particular, he like calls up and he's like, hey, do you want to make money elsewhere or like other ways, and like how would you feel about coming down to LA and like working as in going on dates for money, as what you would say as an escort is. But you know, he I want to say implied to one of them that they would be doing more than just dinners, and I believe one of the other ones he didn't really like specify that she'd have to be doing more. So he buys the freshly 18-year-old's flight to LA, and with her own OnlyFans money. Okay, that doesn't make sense. He's like, yeah, actually I'm broke. Like I need to use your money to fly you down here so you can make more money. I could take it. So he was like real life trying to pimp. He knew that, fuck, do I want to keep this in? Fine, it's fine. He knew that I used to have sugar daddies and do that line of work. So he basically is like, oh, hey, I have you wrapped around my finger. So by the way, you also have to do this. Otherwise, like, I'm going to kill your fucking family tomorrow. And I'm like, I need to be in a Netflix documentary because this is like insane. This is not normal. And he was just very threatening and very scary. Very abusive. Like, I have like a photo of like bruises on my legs and like him flinching knives at me. Like, it was very much like a Stockholm syndrome type of situation, like where like the victim is like falling in love or is in love under the spell of the abuser, is what they say, which is very much true because I feel like that's how it is a lot, even with girls in sex work that have pimps. Like, they're like scared to get out of it, but like the pimp makes the girl think like, oh no, I'm taking care of you, like I care about you, which is not the situation. Let me preface that. But I'm saying like girls in abusive relationships, it's the same thing. Like, oh, he loves me, but like he has anger problems, or, you know, he's just going through a lot. Like, no. But yep, that was me, unfortunately, getting told what to do by a 20-year-old. So, you know, you live and you learn. But
do you?
I do now.
Okay.
Yeah, I do now. Okay, I swear. But
continue.
He basically brings them down. They start working. He is very smart. And when I tell you, like, I couldn't talk to my friends without him knowing, or my family. I never had access to my phone. He knew my passwords to everything. He gave me credit card fraud, like everything. So he was taking my phone and doing a lot of stuff on my phone. And he was smart about it because he was making me do a lot of it in case probably if we were to get caught, it would look like I was the madam, like the woman that's in charge of the other girls, and like, hey, go here, go here. And I'm sitting there texting the guys and setting up the meets for the girls. I can openly talk about this now because everything's cleared on my end. And this was like public information because I got charges too. And everyone was roasting me on TikTok because I dated him, and everyone was like hating on me. Like, they're like, you're a piece of shit for like dating him and like sex trafficking these girls. I was like, dude, if only people knew, like, I would never do that to a girl. Like, one of the girls, the 18-year-old, she was staying with me at my house with him. And I will say it was something that she wanted to do. It was fully voluntary. She had an option to fly back home. She didn't want to. She loved making money, whatever. But I wanted to make sure she was safe if she wanted to do that. And I saw my ex, my 20-year-old boyfriend at the time, get abusive with her. And I didn't like it. And so when he made us go to Vegas, and he was like, you can make so much money out there, da 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 da. I broke up with him that night before because I saw him cheating on his phone, and he didn't give me an option to leave. He threw my phone at my face. He threw water on me, and he's like, you can't leave. He threatened me right in front of the girls because they stayed the night before we went to Vegas. And he's like, you're forced to come. You're working for me, and like, you're not going to get a dime of it. And I was just basically being held against my will because it's a difficult situation it's hard to understand unless you're in it. Abusive relationships, you're afraid to leave because you're afraid that they're literally going to do something. And they do something. Like, he's done stuff to me multiple times. So I was afraid to leave because I knew what he was capable of. And I didn't think I could get out of it because the second I tell someone, who knows what could have happened. Like, he could, you know, he's not a part of that stuff, but he could show up with, you know, a friend or something and do whatever. I don't know. I've seen texts on his phone between him and someone like plotting to hurt me and all these like weird things. I was like, this is interesting, but that you care that much to like ruin somebody or like hurt somebody. But
how did you get a hold of his phone?
When he was sleeping. And the nights that he would get drunk by himself, he was just like passed out drunk. And luckily, like, I'm pretty good at like looking at the side of my eye and finding out his password. And I just like went through his phone. And then one time I hacked into his IG and found out he was cheating that night. Yeah. And then he forced us all to go to Vegas, and he's like, oh, set up meets, da 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 da. So that night, one of the girls like gets caught by security, like at the downstairs casino of like the lobby of the hotel, and She's just like, I'm being threatened by this guy, and he's like forcing me to do work I don't want to do. And he's upstairs. She's like, I think I'm being sex trafficked. So that's when it starts. And I get wrapped up into it because they take her phone, the other girl's phone, and they're looking through it. And of course, my name's on there. It looks like I'm setting up the dates and everything, which, yeah, I was, because I was being forced to do it a lot of the times. And he would take my phone a lot of times and like text the girls like in the group chat, making it look like it was me. It was disgusting. But one thing after another, we get questioned everything and detained in this hotel in Vegas. I was like, there's no way. So the detectives come in and they interview the two girls, then me, then him. So I'm the third to the last, and they're like, we already looked through their phones. Like, just tell us what it is. So I told them, and I was honest. And basically, he has certain tattoos on his body that say he's affiliated and part of the mafia and the cartel. So I tell him about that. And I was like, you know, this is why all this stuff's believable. Like, he got an answer for everything of why this, why that. And they take photos of his tattoos and everything. And he's just trying to cover himself up, whatever. So we both get arrested. We get bailed out the same day.
By who?
Who we get bailed out by?
Yeah.
I believe his grandma bailed him out. And then my mom bailed me out.
Got it. Okay. Continue.
His charges were more than mine. Mine were still pretty bad. And basically one thing after another, I get an attorney. I tell the attorney everything. I was like, I need your help because this looks so bad, but this is something I would never, ever do. Like, you think I've been doing this for years? I would have already done that without a guy's help if I wanted to be I don't even know what they call it, a madam, a house mom.
Madam, yeah.
Yeah. And I would have already done that like by myself because I know what I'm doing, but I don't want to be affiliated with that. That's pimping and pandering. I'm not doing that. And I do that on my, you know, I had done that on my own. I don't care about that. So, the attorney was luckily also, that was a bonus too, where my attorney is, good friends or like knows the prosecutor on our case. So, they brought me in for a statement, and luckily the girls like were there to experience the abuse that he gave me, and they knew that I always had their backs, that their statement matched with mine. And you know, they told the detectives like she would never do this, like she was forced to do a lot of things, and like we saw it. So I was lucky enough, you know, for that to happen. Anyways, moral of the story is I got all of that cleared up, and I testified against him. So
is he out now?
He is out. So that's why
he's out and about, and you have a restraining order against them.
Yeah, but is a no contact order the same as a restraining order? Because restraining...
Who filed that?
The court, the actual court, and like the...
Between
like,
you guys.
Prosecutor itself, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So I haven't been able to get a restraining order because I don't know where he lives, because he's smart enough to bounce around, because he actually has another restraining order against him from another girl. So I've been hesitant to go out to LA because he still goes out here because he knows so many people, and these people think that he's like this like great guy, and they believe his lies. So I usually just stay away from the scene now just until this is over, because he doesn't.
So is the reason why the two girls went downstairs and said that we're being sex trafficked because they didn't know what was going on, or was it because he had gotten abusive with them and they just had enough?
Yeah, he got abusive with one of them. And
doing what?
He waterboarded her, I think is the correct term. Yeah, he like shoved her head under the
He
water.
waterboarded her?
Yeah.
That's like what you do to like terrorists and stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He spit on her. He did that to me multiple times, but she doesn't know him. And she's like, I just met you and like you're doing this stuff to me. He was just very like controlling even to her. And like I found out after the fact, she reached out to me and she was just like, I was so afraid to tell you because I knew he would find out. But like I had gone to work the couple days that she was there, and he did stuff to her that she didn't want to. And I just felt so bad because I'm like, this is happening in my home. And like, I feel like her bigger sister, and I feel like I should have done something to help her, but I was afraid too. And
like, you mean he was like raping her?
yeah. Yeah. So she let the detectives and the prosecutor know that as well, because she was afraid of him. So basically the two girls were down there that night because I think that they were getting drinks and stuff, and they had gone to dinner with each other. I was in bed. I think it was like maybe 10 or 11. And I don't know where he was. He was like nowhere to be found. He was like trying to hang out with them or something. And before that, they were downstairs and just hanging out together. But they looked young. One of them looked really young. So one of the security guards is like, you're not allowed to be at the bar. Like, let me see your ID. So she started getting nervous. So that's how that happened.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And this sounds like the worst relationship you've ever been in.
Yeah, I'm like,
I can imagine a worse relationship than that. But
no, because this isn't a normal relationship. People can look at me and think I'm dumb. That's totally fine. This is public knowledge now, so I can like talk about it. He doesn't know I testified against him. I don't think he'll listen to this podcast, nor do I care. But hopefully he'll get the justice he deserves. But yeah, this is like not a normal, relationship. This is like Tinder swindler, but like worse.
Yeah, we need to get you on Christian Mingle. You need to say Christian Mingle, find some nice
Yeah,
guys.
you know what? I go to church now, so
maybe Match.com. We can find you a nice guy.
I know.
Okay, so does any of your previous relationships come anywhere close to this as far as toxicity is concerned? Or is it like kind of like the same level?
Honestly, no. I would say that one and this most recent one, I guess, are like the craziest, like toxic. My past relationships have been normal, other than, one other guy that was in a relationship. He just cheated on me. He was part of a biker gang, though. So, like I said, I pick him really well. So,
but it sounds like you do kind of go off angrily when shit hits the fan.
For sure.
Okay.
100%. I am the most chill, understanding, nicest person. But I get insane. I get so manic. I do things that I may regret.
Like what?
Well, he cheated on me this morning, so I already reached out to his boss.
Saying what?
Well, we were supposed to go a Rams game on Sunday. And I was like, okay, that'd be fun. We were supposed to go because he works part-time at a dispensary as like kind of like the manager or something. And his boss, we were supposed to go with him and his wife. And I was like, yeah, just so you know, he cheated on me. So he goes to church with them. I was like, you think you're a man of God, but you do this to people? Nope. You are Satan himself and nothing will help you there. But it's just crazy to me that like even getting into that stuff, like saying you're a man of God and like you're trying to get better, God is not going to bless you if you're doing that to other people. That's how it is. Like you're going to get your own karma and God's not going to take care of you. So I reached out to his boss. I was like, hey, we were supposed to go to the Rams game. I'm so sorry. Like he owes me $3,000 and he cheated on me with, a girl he met at the club. So I let him know that, and I was like...
What did he say?
He didn't respond yet. Maybe he will.
Yeah.
But the place that he has rented out here on Melrose or whatever, I was like, just so you know, he can't afford rent there. I was paying for it.
You told the landlord of the place?
Yeah. But he was like, I'm honestly not worried about it. I just use his printing equipment for here for like a really small fee. But I think he meant like my ex pays him a really small fee to have it there. So I was like, okay. I was like, that's good at least because he can't pay rent. And I was like, maybe I'll stop in because I do need to serve him. But then that's when he told me, he's like, well, he doesn't have a place of business here. Like he's not even allowed to sell his clothing brand. I was like, oh, okay. I love that. Actually, good to know because he can't, flourish there. Is that the right word?
Flourish, yeah.
Sure.
Flourish.
But I guess technically speaking, that just means you're not going to get your money.
Yeah.
So.
Well, 100%. But he's like, yeah, you can wait outside my store. I was like, okay, thank you. But he's like, damn, that's crazy. I'm like, you don't care enough, do you? But Yeah. I reached out to them. I'm also trying to figure out how to obtain the clothing brand because it's trademarked in my name.
Okay.
I just don't have the paperwork.
Got it.
So I'm trying to get an LLC under it because I know he doesn't have one.
Smart.
Interesting. Okay. And so you said you have sugar daddies. Is that what you said? You don't want to talk about it? We don't have to talk about it. If you
No,
don't want to
I'm
talk about
debating on saying I used to.
it. Okay. Oh, used to.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's what you say. You said you used to have sugar
used
daddies.
to.
And so what? Okay. So what type of? This is what I've always wondered is, what type of men are the type that would have sugar babies?
The type of men, I would say, they usually, I mean, like 90% of them are retired or married. So they're older for the most part. But there have been some that are younger, like even in their 30s.
And what do they usually look for?
I guess mostly just an arrangement can mean so many different things, whether it's an arrangement, but you guys are still in a relationship. Like I've met a few girls that like are married to their sugar daddy now, and it just turned into like actual love. But for the most part, a lot of them are married. So they keep it discreet and they're just like, I'll take care of you, you take care of me type of thing. It's like an exchange thing.
But these were sexual sugar daddies.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
And so were you in a relationship during any of those situations?
No, I never was. Other than this past relationship that I was in 2 years ago, he was, what's the right word? He was trying to get me to do that stuff. He was like pushing me to get a sugar daddy, and he's like, oh yeah, I don't mind. Like, you're not going to like marry him. Like, I guess him knowing that I wasn't into older men. He was like, yeah, like, I know you're not going to like marry him, like da da da.
When you say older men, that means how, like?
I guess like 40s, 50s.
Okay.
I think my cap's like probably like 37.
Your cap's 37 and you're 29 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you just don't like dating older men. Like somebody who's like 32, 35. It's just not that attractive to you.
I do, but I'm just very picky, I guess.
You're picky? You just said that you're picky?
She just picks the wrong one.
I'm like, I'm picky, so that's why I pick the worst ones you could ever think of.
You are very picky. That's for sure.
I will say it's because, and I don't want this to come out the wrong way because I don't want people to hate, but like I love a baby face. Like I don't love like a beard or like
you like the
chest hair and stuff.
The pretty boys.
Yeah, that's what gets me in trouble. But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, maybe I know I'm not meant to be in a relationship, so that's why I pick the ones I'm like, oh yeah, you're gonna ruin my life. Like, I want that now.
Like when you like pick these guys, right? You have to kind of know in the back of your mind, like, I know this isn't good news, but like, I kind of like I'm attracted to it, or like, it's fun, or it's exciting, or dangerous, or something. Is it kind of like that?
I think so.
You get like bamboozled completely.
No, I think it is because I'm used to chaos since my childhood. So I'm like, I think in hindsight, I'm like looking, I'm like, oh yeah, you're gonna cause chaos, or you're a fuckboy, or like, oh, I you could tell like this guy's like full of himself and has like a big ego because he's a pretty boy. So I'm like, yeah, you're gonna ruin my life. So I think
deep down but you're just kind of like, yeah, but it's fun, kind of like that.
Yeah, I think that's what it is for sure, because like I said, like sadly, I'm used to getting validated in the bedroom. So I think that's what makes it more fun, is like, oh, if I could get a pretty boy and someone that's like really pleasing to the eye, it'll be more than fun. Like it'll be way more of like a better memory than
like a validation of like, oh, he could have got all these other girls, but he chose me.
Yeah.
Versus like somebody who's like not that attractive. It's like, oh, he chose me, but like he didn't have that many options anyway. That kind of thing. I see.
I guess, which sounds so bad. But
not necessarily. I do believe that like we're not supposed to say like a lot of things. Like guys aren't supposed to say, oh, I like girls because they're hot. But like every guy fucking cares.
Yeah.
And if they say they don't care, like I'm not saying it's the end all be all, but it is important. You
For
know what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah.
So it's like people pretend like they don't want things when it's like, I got an argument with my mom actually, because she's like very like conservative, not like politically, but like conservative. You know what I mean? And she's like, Zach, you know, you're in LA, you're always dating these like models, actresses. She's like, why don't you just date someone with like a great personality? I'm like, Mom, okay, so there's like really attractive girls with great personalities, and there's ugly girls with great personalities. Like, of course I'm going to choose like the attractive one with it. Like 1 + 1 is 2. Like, why wouldn't you want both? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. If you can have it.
Yeah. So it's like everybody wants that. It just depends on like how ambitious you are to get that versus being okay with somebody who's like less attractive, but you know, the connection's good and everything's fine. And it's like, it's okay kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So throughout these years, when did you start doing stripping and OnlyFans and sugar daddies?
They all kind of started different. OnlyFans, I guess, kind of like when COVID started, or like 2020.
Uh-huh.
And sugar daddies was like very short-lived. Couple.
Like, when was it? The beginning of it?
A couple of years ago.
Uh-huh.
When I was a little bit younger, I like experimented that for a while. Stripping, very short-lived. Before I tried it for a few months and I hated it, but I realized the money for stripping's out in LA. So, OC just sucks because I'll tell you right now, every strip club in OC pretty much does extras in the back for $200. I'm like, that is grimy. That is so unclassy. Meanwhile, you can go out here to like the body shop. Like one of my friends works there. She's a baddie. She walks out with like $5K a night. And I'm like, and rappers go there or like celebrities go there. And it's like way more worth your while. Like way better. So
have you ever come across any of the rappers or the celebrities who you dance for or whatever?
no, not rappers or celebrities. I guess like in the sugar daddy realm, there's a lot of men out there that are the CEOs or they are the big guys and they even are married or whatever, or you would never suspect. They have sugar babies or are on that site, and they really are, like, so many of them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But then you would think, like, having, like, you've been in nightlife, just like no rappers or celebrities ever slid into your DMs, or somebody you've partied with, or like anybody you've had anything like a relationship, dating, whatever?
I wouldn't say celebrities, because I don't know, when I think of celebrities, I think of like something crazy like Justin Bieber or anything, which I wish.
Well, it doesn't
but,
have to be A-list, I suppose, because there's A-list, there's B-list.
Yeah.
Or I suppose I don't know who you consider B-list or C-list.
Yeah, I guess like B or C list. There is a rapper, like, fuck, should I say names or no?
Always say names.
Always say names. Okay, well, there is
Especially if
one
they're
that I
celebrities.
used to. I've never done anything with him, but we've had, you know, DMs here and there, and like we plan to meet so many times. He's very good looking, but he's Amber Rose's baby daddy, but not the one that you think he is. She has two.
I don't know who I think. I don't know.
Well, because one of her baby daddies was Wiz Khalifa.
Okay.
I think it is. Yeah, it's Wiz Khalifa.
And who's the other one?
I don't even know his real name, to be honest.
What's his fake name?
Tyga's friend. I'll say that.
His fake name is Tyga's friend.
Yeah. I haven't done anything with him. Has he been in my DMs? Yes. Have I been in his? 100%. He's very good looking. But I was at a club one time when Tyga was performing. He was there, of course. And I remember one of my friends that night, her friend got hit up by him. She got paid to go to his hotel that night. I actually was supposed to go, and I didn't because it was like 2 a.m. I'm a grandma. I'm going to bed. And I was like already, it was in San Diego, and I was like already like towards Orange County because I lived there at the time. And he got another girl instead, and he paid her like $1,500 to suck her toes.
Jeez.
And it's like, damn, that could have been me.
That could have been me.
Like, damn.
Yeah, but then you went to bed.
Yeah. But when he had hit me up at the time, like back when he was still with her. And I was like, that's just crazy because she is a baddie. And I'm not saying I'm ugly or anything. I'm confident, but I'm like, okay, like really? So that's crazy to think like a guy can have like this amazing girl. She's a baddie. She got money. She did it all by herself. And he still will pick a girl that's at the concert to like hook up. I met the rapper Almighty J at the Kurgo party, the Halloween party this past October, when he was like live streaming or something. So I guess you could say that he slid into my DMs, but I think I was drunk. I think I slid into his first, but he's a cutie. So, rappers and stuff, I don't know. I'd have to like think about that, and like celebs and stuff. But I remember growing up loving the MagCon boys. Have you guys like heard of them? Like it was like Cameron Dallas, Nash Greer, Matthew Espinoza. Who else were they? They were like a thing back in the day when like what else was a thing? Like, I don't know. That's for like the girls. Like girls like when we were younger ish, like in our teens, we were obsessed with them. Like, do you guys know who Cameron Dallas is at least?
Cameron Dallas, Matthew Espinoza, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they used to be like a big thing like when they were teens. Like girls would pay for like meet and greets with them.
Wait, but they're like a band? They're like actors?
I don't even know what they were. I think they just made like YouTube videos back in the day.
Gotcha.
They were just like conventionally like pretty, like, you know, pretty boys, and like all the girls were obsessed with them. I think it was just YouTube and like Vine and stuff.
Social media, yeah.
Yeah. And basically I had that encounter with one of them. I'll decide if I want to bleep it out or not. I had an encounter with Matthew Espinoza. And I don't even know what it was. We started like not even talking, not even dating. You can't call it that these days, but like texting, I guess. And I went a couple years back on my birthday, maybe more than a couple years back. I guess like maybe 4 years ago. And it was my birthday, and then I found out that Blueface was having a yacht party in like Marina Del Rey, so I was like, oh yeah, let's go. Show up, definitely me and my friend were the only two white girls there.
But who invited you?
I don't remember. I think it was like someone like hosting it for him, or one of his homies, one of Blueface's friends.
But it was a black guy who invited you to the party knowing that you're white.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
We're the only two white girls, so I'm like, I don't know what they wanted with us, because there was so many girls there. And yeah, that was interesting too.
Why is that?
Nothing crazy happened other than like it almost seemed like this only other white girl, but I want to say she was like Russian or something of that sort, because she had an accent. She looked a little bit foreign. I don't know what she was, but she was taking photos and stuff, and she seemed like some sort of assistant, because she wasn't having like a fun time. Like, she was on business, and we're having fun. We're getting drunk and everything, having a great time. Blueface is performing, whatever. But all I remember is like we're at like the bar area, and Blueface is saying something, and she's like next to him. So like that's what I'm saying. She has something to do with him, but I don't know what. And all of a sudden, he's like, this bitch is annoying. Like, someone fucking jump her. All hell breaks loose. People are jumping her. Like, all the girls are jumping her.
Oh, and not like security? Like, he's telling girls. Other people?
Yeah.
Crazy.
And when it comes to like rappers and stuff, girls that are groupies will do anything. So girls are like on her, like jumping her. And I look at my friend. I was like, yeah, she's the only other white girl here. And so are we. We have to go. And so like we immediately book it. Like, that was like scary, because she didn't even do anything. I don't even know what she had said, but I'm like, because he said that, I'm like, we're next. We gotta go. And I'm like, we gotta get out of here, dude. Like, I'm like, we have been so, like, we made so many friends that night. We were so chill.
Definition of racial profiling.
No, I know. And I was like, I don't think they definitely don't like us here. I was like, I'm scared. Like, we have to go. So prior to this point, like I had met Matthew, I forget where, but like at a party at our club or something. And I had his number, like whatever. I was like, oh, it's my birthday. Like, what are you doing tonight? This is when I was like out every single night, like doing something. And he's like, oh, I'm at my house. Like, come over, like whatever. And I was like, okay. So I bring my friend along with me. She's like down for the ride. She's like, yeah, like this is iconic. Like we used to be obsessed with like the O2L boys. Like, let's go. And I was like, okay, let's go. He gives me his address. I pull up. Okay. First thing when I walk in, he was watching his Netflix movie.
His own.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was like on pause or like resume or something. The first thing on there. And I was just like, that is such like a influencer thing to do. So I'm going there thinking like, because at this time when I was younger, I thought clout climbing was a thing. Okay. It is in fact not. Okay. You are not going to fuck your way to the top or like mooch your way to the top. No one is giving you that fame. And I wish some of my friends would understand that are still doing that out here in LA, because just because you fuck a guy and he has 1.2 million followers, he ain't gonna post you. He's not gonna give you anything. You're another girl that's hooked up with him. But I used to be that girl, so. And
learn through experience.
Yeah. And so I pull up and I'm like, oh my God, he's so cute. Like I literally used to be a fan of him. Like this is like my childhood dreams like coming true. And my friend like passes out on the couch. I'm like, okay, we're gonna go upstairs, whatever. He gives me a tour and he's like, he didn't say it like that. He's not like actually, but he was like, you know, I have to wake up early tomorrow. Like, I just kind of wanted you to come over and hang out. Like, I'm like too tired to like do anything. And I was like, am I ugly? Like, is there something wrong with me? Like, do I look wrecked at the end of the night at 3 a.m.? Like, what's happening? And I was like, that's just so weird, because like, if a guy's doing that late at night and he's someone, like, why aren't you doing anything with me? And I was like, okay. So we ended up making out in his like little gaming room. And I'm like, that's it? He's like, yeah, I have to like get up really early, but like I wanted to see you. And I was like, weird. So then I just ended up leaving. And then we talked for a little bit after that. And he like tried hanging out, and then he'd flake and then like whatever. And that was that. And now he hangs out with Justin Bieber. And I don't know how he got there, but he's at the league all the time with Justin Bieber and at the clubs.
Uh-huh.
And he doesn't even do anything anymore other than make TikToks. So I don't know. But yeah, hilarious. That was interesting. But I've had my fair share of, trying to clout climb and do all that stuff. That doesn't get you anywhere, girls.
Who else did you climb? Or try to climb, for the lack of a better word?
Influencers mostly, because those are the easily attainable ones.
Who's
obtainable?
Uh-huh. Who, such as who? You're funny. You're funny because you've said the worst things that a person could possibly say about their life.
I'm like, damn, do I want any more hate?
What do they say? Go all out or go home, or what's the saying?
Go big or go home. Yeah. It was when they were a thing at the time, so I thought it was cool. So like Dirty Dom.
Uh-huh.
He's like strung out now. I don't know.
Dirty Dom is the guy who was with David Dobrik?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And known
Didn't he go to like jail or something?
He got accused of
yeah. He was like canceled for some shit.
Yeah, he was accused of like sexually
assaulting people.
Yes. Yeah. So I've hung out with him a few times and like even like stayed the night at his house, and he was.
Did he try to fuck you? Or I mean, I'm assuming you guys fucked.
It was consensual.
Sure.
So I've never he was never weird like that. So again, like that's hard when it comes to influencers, celebrities. Like so many girls will make allegations to get their name out there, but at the same time, I am not like protecting anyone at all too, because men are definitely capable of that. So it's kind of hard to like, but my own experience, he was always chill and like very sweet and cool. Like away from like his like persona that he has online, he's way different in person.
Sure.
But now lately he's an interesting person, but back then he was cool. He would give me like free merch and all that stuff. He wasn't too into himself, but that and I'm trying to make sure I haven't signed NDAs. Yeah, Brennan Taylor, the food reviewer, had a threesome with him and my best friend.
With your best friend.
Yeah, with my best friend, which was very weird because I would never like touch my best friend. So guys think that's like so hot. And I'm like, sure, with like another like random girl, but I don't think guys understand. Like, we don't want to touch our best friends. Like, we see them every day. Like, we do whatever. Like, that's this like kind of like, I don't know, crossing the boundary.
It varies from person to person, I suppose.
Yeah. So, we hooked up with him one night and had a threesome with him, which was very, very interesting, just in the sense of like, I don't know. We like started off, like showed up at his house, and all of a sudden, like, we're getting like sexual and like whatever. And all I remember, like, this was years ago too, but all I remember was he either was closing his eyes or he had a blindfold on, I want to say. And he's like, okay, let's start by like you guys kissing me. And I have to like guess who it is. And I was like,
like it's a YouTube skit. It's like a TikTok skit.
And I'm like, there's no cameras. I'm like, this is so cringe. Like, and at the time, like, I don't even think like we blinked an eye, but looking back on it, I'm like, what were we doing, dude? Like, it was like after like a party where, what's her name? Halsey. She used to have Halloween parties. So it was like that long ago. And, he was there or something. He's like, come over after. And then that's how that happened. But, yeah, we would do it, or we did it. And he like rated whoever was the best kisser. I don't even remember who it was. But, and he had to guess who it was. And then things just happened after that. So it's just like so interesting how cringe these men are, but yet they have like these millions of followers for their YouTube videos and stuff. But the fame gets to them, and then they're just like icky, and like they're so corny from what they portray to be. But
interesting.
Yeah.
So who would you say is the best celebrity you've slept with, or influencer, essentially? Any semi-ish famous person?
Honestly, none.
None of them?
No, but I haven't hooked up with a lot of them. Like,
got it.
It's always gone as far as like the DMs or like planning something, and it like never happens. But that's because like when I was younger, I quickly learned like I shouldn't be doing that. It's not going to get me anywhere. And it was just like very draining. So I think that's why it's like, it was fun to like meet them, and like that was cool. But then I realized I was like, yeah, this is not going to get me anywhere. So I just like kind of stopped doing that. I was like, is like kind of, and you don't know what people are capable of. So
I think one time I saw you post something with at like Logan's house or something.
Yeah, I think that was a few years ago. I don't even remember. I think my friend, literally the one that I'm doing everything with, including the threesome, but I think she got hit up by Izadi, the one that the bigger guy that used to, I don't even know if they hang out with him anymore, but he was like the bigger guy that like had like that Las Vegas house that was like graffitied or whatever. That Tana Mojo had her wedding at, her fake wedding. He was like kind of like the promoter guy for like a while, I feel like. I don't even know what he did, but he hit up my friend, I believe, and he was like, oh, do you want to come to Logan Paul's house to watch him like train and practice? So she's like, yeah, like let's go, like da-da-da. So we show up to his house. Mike, what's his name? Mike Malek opens the door, whatever. Very nice guy. He's very sweet. And we are literally there to just watch him. And I think Jake Paul at some point came, and he was in the ring too. And this was before, like kind of like right before they started all the fighting stuff and like actually like fighting for real and stuff. And we're just there watching. Like, I'm like, you guys really booked girls to just sit here and like watch.
But are you in the background of the video, or he's literally just training?
I don't even think there was like videos or anything. It was like more of like a secluded type of thing. And it was like in his backyard, and it was like a boxing type of ring that was put in there, and he was just training with his trainers. And there was a bunch of girls there, and I'm just like, what is going on? Like Lil Mosey was right there. I'm forgetting his name. Ace Family guy, the dad. He shows up, and I'm like, so okay. I'm like, it's just like super interesting.
But like, did you party with them afterward, or you just like literally like, all right, he's done training, you guys can leave now? Was it like that?
Yeah. He's like, okay, you guys can leave. I'm like, wow, this is a humbling experience. And I remember after, okay, there was this girl, so pretty, but she had a missing tooth. I'm like, damn, you really just like came out right after the afters or something. And I like to think like it was like about her and like hopefully like not me and my friend, but I just remember after Logan posting, and he was like something about like his like practice or like whatever that day, and he's like all like every girl that showed up like looked like a witch, like a bunch of witches there, like da da da. And I remember me and my friend cracking up because I was like, that is so humbling that he just like posted like, oh yeah, bunch of witches at my training practice, whatever you want to call it. I'm like, witches out of everything is a very interesting statement. But yeah, we literally just got invited to go there for that, just to wash him. So that way, I guess like he had girls there to give him a boost of ego or something. And I think later that night we ended up going to a party, but like completely separate from that. And one of our friends was like, hey, you want to go to I don't know whose party it was. I think it was like a house that everyone rents out in the hills or whatever. But they're like, oh, Chris Brown and Tyga's going to be there. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I want to go. And then we pull up and Tyga's car's there. I was like, oh, shit, this is legit. And all I remember is Logan, I think Summer Rae, and I don't think Jake, but them and like the assistant and like a few other like minor influencers were there like trying to get in. And they weren't letting them in. Like so many people were waiting outside. They're like, you can't come in. Logan and Summer Rae or like their assistant or someone ends up paying them to get in through the door. We push our way up and we're telling security like we have to pee. Like I will pay you to use the bathroom. Like that's all I really need. Like escort me out. I don't care, but I want to pee my pants and it's either gonna be in there or I'm Papa Squat out here. And I was like, you choose. And he's like, well, it's just the two of you. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, you can come in. So I feel like that was my iconic moment. I felt really cool. Because I'm like, damn, the baddie Summer Rae can't even get in or anyone else. And I didn't have to pay. I even offered to pay. I was like, how much do you need? Like, I have to go pee. And he just lets us in. And Scott Disick was there. Chris Brown was there. You
said whose party was this?
I don't know whose party it was.
Oh, and then who else was there?
Tyga, Chris Brown, Scott Disick, the girl that dated Jake Paul. I'm totally forgetting names right now. She was part of Team 10 though.
Got it.
A bunch of other people, but I just thought that that's interesting how LA works when it comes to men, because it was mostly Jake Paul trying to get in. Of course, the security is like, I don't know who this fool is. Oh, Logan Paul, yes, Logan Paul. And I think it's just so funny that security like does not care like what guys it is, but if you're a girl, usually it's easier to get in everywhere. So that was pretty funny. But
interesting stuff.
Yeah,
you've had a very eventful life so far.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, final question. Does size matter?
Honestly, no.
It does not matter.
No.
Have you ever had an encounter with a micro penis?
Yes.
Okay.
So I will say size does not matter, because a guy can have the biggest dick. He still doesn't know what he's doing with it. He could be jackrabbiting it and not know what to do. So half the time it doesn't even feel good. It hurts if it's, too big.
Uh-huh.
So I would say to a certain extent, sure. But most of the time it doesn't. If it's a solid 6, 7, 7.5, maybe 8.
That's on the bigger side.
8's for sure on the bigger side. What's average? Like 6?
No, average is like 4 or 5.
Is it really?
Yes.
I think it might be 6.
5 is manageable too. But it's like if they're moving and grooving, they know what they're doing. That's gonna feel a lot better than a guy just ramming it in, thinks he knows how to fuck because he has a 8-9 incher. So micro penis, yeah, you're not really gonna feel that. But not decent, but like average size is quite honestly the best. So
Yeah, average size is 5. So
okay, yeah.
So okay, but a micro penis, we've had an encounter with.
Yeah.
How many?
Really 2.
How did that go?
It's terrible, I feel like, because I couldn't feel it. So, and I remember it was like a really attractive guy, like my age, like whatever. He just whips it out. I'm like, oh, okay. So as we're doing it, I'm like, I just don't like, I kind of just like waited till he got his, thing over with. I don't think I talked to him ever again. But
did he take care of you or no?
I think that was just a one night stand when I was like 20 years old.
Got it. Okay. So that was your first encounter.
Yeah. The second one, was probably I think it was a sugar daddy.
Okay.
So that's easy.
Different setup.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Like, I don't care. I mean,
And also you've encountered it before, so it's not as surprising.
yeah. And I mean, essentially it's easier. I'm like, okay, like get the job done. I leave with my donation.
Donation. I guess it kind of it's understandable for somebody with a micro penis who would be a sugar daddy. I more so don't understand people with regular penises or just like, decent looking. Because I've heard people who are like decent looking and have a good job, make good money, and be sugar daddies. And I'm always wondering how that.
Yeah, but maybe of no game. Like they're just like awkward or,
Yeah.
I will say that the youngest one I've met is 32 and he's a doctor. But he is, I will say most of them that I've talked to, they're so busy that they can't have a normal relationship. So they feel like that's the easiest situation for them because they kind of want something easy, like almost like a friends with benefits to just, have someone when they can have someone, because essentially like having, like, how do you explain that? Like having it normal, a girl's not going to always like be okay with that, I guess. Like, oh, you can't have me on my time. Like,
sure.
It's, like it's about her too. So I feel like that they think that that's easiest. Like, oh, I don't have a lot of time. I make good money. Like, I'll take care of you. You take care of me.
Are these people not worried about STDs?
I feel like a lot of them aren't. Like, you'd be surprised. Like, I would get messages of like, hey, can I do anal? Haven't even met yet. Can you calm down? Or like, hey, you like cream pies? No, I don't. So I don't feel like guys are careful as they should be. I don't think they care, or they just don't think it's going to happen.
That's crazy.
But knowing guys that are like that, that's straight off the bat, hey, are you down for this? Like, no protection. I can imagine like how many girls they see, because it's like, if you don't care, like I'll get it like I had gotten a handful of like some that are married and they don't want protection. I'm like, so you don't care about your wife?
That's wild.
Yeah, that's like fucked up.
Yeah.
Or I guess they just don't sleep with her some of the time. Like some of the times, like that's
Sure.
the case. But
if you got pregnant by a very either famous person or a billionaire, would you keep that child?
no.
Why not?
Well, one, I would never have unprotected sex with them.
Sure.
But if the condom apparently,
Breaks, let's
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
it's because like, I mean, I guess maybe I would keep it because I do want children, and I don't rely on a man to like, I've like literally told myself already, if I'm 32 and I still don't like have a significant other and I'm like not settled down and everything, I'm going to get a sperm donor, like 100%, or I'm going to
Sure.
adopt, or both. So I guess maybe let me take that back and say yes. But, I wouldn't do it on purpose. Like, I don't
Got
want
it.
that to happen.
Got it.
But I feel like all these girls that have had those allegations or that's happened, like the whole Drake thing of like the hot sauce and whatever, I feel like that's too much. Like, at that point, like they don't want the kid. They just want the money. They want the, what is it called?
The alimony.
Yeah. And
The child support, sorry, not alimony.
yeah. which is nice. Like, yeah, if she's gonna be a single mom, like, yeah, the wealthy guys, like, great to, you know, help with that. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it on purpose. But like, yeah, maybe I guess I'd keep the kid because I guess that's my goal at 32 is to have a sperm donor anyways.
Got it. But would you do the same if it was some, you know, homeless guy without money?
I plan to have a kid with my now ex as of this morning. So,
What you planned past tense, or you still plan to?
planned to
Okay.
ED.
I got it.
Yeah, not anymore. And I knew he had no money, but what I thought was a genuine connection, so I wanted to, but I had got pregnant with him before, but it wasn't a place in my life where I was ready.
Sure.
So, yeah, I would still keep the child and not expect anything. If I was ready in my life and that happened to me again, I would say that would be like a sign for sure to, if I'm this fertile and this keeps happening like unexpectedly, then yeah, that's a sign. So.
Well, thank you for being honest, open.
Of course.
and
I can't wait for
telling us-
the hate comments or the DMs I'll get about all of this stuff, but it's okay.
It's going to be interesting. So definitely wear your seatbelt. And hopefully the turn of events is going to be a part of your journey where you meet guys who are not as toxic and
For sure.
insane.
That's my hope.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.